want to follow up with what happened at Wednesday City Council meeting because of that agenda item to revisit our public comments. I'm really disappointed with the outcome. You can watch it. It's item number 17. And our comments are kind of towards the end on that item, but you can skip over that. But anyways, I encourage you to watch the entire item number 17. So we had that day, we also had an unusual amount of public comment received, not on that issue. It was more for another issue, the Palestine-Israel issue, and obviously very important. And most of our comments received for that day were around that issue. So what is customary is we hear non-agenda public comment, if there's any, in the beginning, and at the end there's an opportunity to hear those comments. And our current policy at this time was to hear electronic public comment and read those out loud. I noticed that they didn't do it at this particular meeting on Wednesday, before we even had started the meeting, or had even arrived to agenda item number 17, which I thought was very strange. Nothing was said. No one acknowledged it. It was very strange. So the meeting continues, and then we get to item number 17. That's Councilmember Christian Garcia, wanted to revisit the item to reconsider. He said he would be changing his vote. He said why. Councilmember Morosco spoke after that. Also said he would be changing his vote and supporting Councilmember Garcia and changing the policy to not allow electronic comments. And then it was my turn to speak. So I said my comments. Obviously, it was different than my previous colleagues' comments. I said that I wanted to keep the current policy, even if we were one of two agencies that did it. I wanted to continue the policy, because everyone who spoke that night on that item and who had submitted comment on that specific item said that they wanted to keep it. I have not received have not heard from one person that says don't allow it. So I was expressing what I believe, what my viewpoint is, how I feel on this issue, which is not a surprise to anyone, by the way, and also reemphasizing why it's important and why I would not support changing the policy. So after that, then the mayor speaks, or then Councilmember Morosco speaks again for the second time, and then Councilmember Christian Garcia speaks for the second time. And then after that, the mayor speaks, and they're very upset with my comments that I said. So my colleague that sits next to me, Deputy Mayor Garcia, yes, we have two Garcias. It gets a bit confusing. So Deputy Mayor Garcia, Joe Garcia, decided not to give commentary, and so he skipped his time to speak. So then Morosco and Christian Garcia get two opportunities to speak, and then their second time speaking, they're pretty much commenting on my comments, which, you had your time to say your comments about the issue. I'm saying my comments about the issue, but now you're directing your comments towards my comment. So they were allowed additional time and didn't like what I had to say. And the mayor decides to immediately shut down the conversation, and did not allow me to speak a second time when he allowed Morosco and Christian Garcia to speak. And I do not appreciate that. That is not fair, and that is not right. I feel compelled to share this because a lot of you took interest in the public comment issue. You wanted to keep it, and many of you have reached out to me since the meeting because you watched it online, you were watching on TV that night, or you were there and you were disappointed with how my colleagues treated me, some of my colleagues. And rightfully so, because it was not right. And I do respect and embrace different viewpoints. That's a very normal thing. I understand we have different lived experiences and different viewpoints and opinions on issues. And that's never been an issue for me. I understand that. I welcome that. What I don't appreciate is having the process changed without letting the public know, like moving comments to the end and not even acknowledging that. That was not transparent. That was not right. Again, I encourage you to watch the meeting for yourself. I linked it in my first video, but I wanted to share my experience that evening, share the feedback that I've been receiving since that meeting happened. Because of that vote, which was Mayor White, Councilmember Christian Garcia, Councilmember Mike Roscoe, they voted to do away with reading electronic public comments. Only myself and Deputy Mayor Garcia kept our original votes the same, that we wanted to keep the policy of reading comments out loud. So 3 of them voted no, so that means that that policy goes away. It will be changed, and you will no longer be able to submit comment online to be read out loud. You can still submit written comments. We will still see them and read them, but they will no longer be read out loud. And because of this vote and the way that the mayor moved the agenda, all those 60 plus comments that people had submitted that day never got read if they weren't on an agenda item.